Hey, you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Because She Believe podcast, where I will be talking about my truth with my cancer journey with breast cancer and cervical cancer. If this is your first time here, please go back to part one, baby, because it's some information and some stories that you need to know before you get to part three. All right, let's go. So, when I said I went back into the real world too soon, after I was done radiation chemo, radiation on both breast and cervix. When I say I went back into the real world too soon, it was too soon. So the cancer center, my doctors and surgeons, they gave me a break. And we were just taking a break so we could get ready for the double mastectomy. And okay, when I was like, when I took that break, I said, okay, let's go. Let's go back to work. Let's go back to the bars. Let's go back to, the hangout spots, the clubs. Let's go back. And I know y'all like, why would she go back? I even went back to smoking. And I know y'all like, why would she do that? She just got healed. Or was she halfway done? Why would she do that? Because in that time of me trying to survive, my mind wasn't wrapped around anything else but surviving. And when I went back to work, I'm thinking everything will be Gucci, everything will be good. And I thought wrong. With me taking medication, going back into the real world, trying to provide for a family, my relationship life was chaotic. It took me into a deep depression and a whirlwind, and I was just going downhill. Downhill. I didn't care that I just got healed. I was thinking about, oh, I missed out on this, I missed out on that. Let me see if I can get my body back right. And my immature mind wasn't processing what my body just went through. It was just worried about doing whatever I wanted to do. And one day I went to work, was just having an issue at home, and I lit a cigarette. And one of my coworkers looked at me like, they didn't look at me like in a judgment way, but I felt like it was. And the devil was in my ear saying, yeah, they talking about you. Yeah, like, dang, she picking up a cigarette. And I let it get to me to the point where I put the cigarette out. I ran into the locker room and I just bawled out crying. And I told my manager to come here. And I was like, I'm killing myself. And of course, security was there and they heard killing and it went to a whole nother thing. So I had a mental breakdown at work due to my chaotic life, me trying to rush back into the real world, me trying to rush back into partying, trying to catch up on what I missed. I had a mental breakdown at work. And instead of it making a big scene, in which I appreciate that, they just transported me in a police car and took me on to the hospital, to to that flow, that site flow. Yeah. And they kept me, and I was like, Tasha, you can't do this, girl. Tasha, you can't do this. What is you doing? So went home, went on about my life and just getting ready for my double mastectomy. And still didn't care. My life was everything that was hurting me while I was surviving, I was dealing with it after I had that, during that break I had that they gave me. The the hurt from no one coming down to support me. Everybody travels all over the place, but nobody could come down and come support me. Um, Sitting in that chemo chair by myself, driving myself to radiation. then with the relationship, and then the kids, and I was dealing with what I didn't deal with while trying to survive. It was all coming at me 100 times hard. And going into this double mastectomy. I was okay. I was okay, and went in, had it done. They put the implants in. They took both breasts. They put implants, saline implants, due to the fact that my skin was very tight due to the radiation on my right breast. They had put in saline implants, and basically they fill them up with saline, a certain amount of cc's, 200, 400, 500 cc's of saline, and to stretch your skin so you could get ready for your actual implants and for the fat grafting. And I'm gonna get into more of that in detail in a moment. So my friend Tamika took me to one of my doctor's appointments one time, and I said, "Ooh, I'm about to be a C cup boo," because I used to have a little dough knobs. And that was another thing. I was just my womanhood was gone. That's another thing I was dealing with. My womanhood is gone. A part of me is gone. A part of me that God blessed me with is gone. And going into that doctor's appointment to get filled up with basically water, I felt some type of way about that, but I was like, well, let me cheer myself up. I'm about to get me a C cup. So so um I go in there, I get them filled up. I said, I said, I can't I can't walk with these. Tamika was like, you better sit up straight. You the one that wanted these. I'm like, let's go back. Take these out. I want these. I can't carry my little petite frame. I can't carry these. So they took some CCs out and got to a comfortable state. So we getting ready for the last surgeries. So I had to gain a little bit of weight to do these surgeries because I like I told you before, I was a skinny woman. Size 2, size 0 and 2. So I'm getting mentally preparing myself for this last surgery where they're getting ready to take fat from my stomach and to my breast. If they want to do it now, they can, because your girl got, yeah, but that's all right. We still cute. So, so we're getting ready to do this surgery where they're getting ready to take fat from my stomach and put it in my breast. But if for some reason I had a lot of surgeries, and just like any person, anxious the night before, making sure God is covering you while you're on that table. But this night, the night before, I was not easy about this surgery. I was just, my spirit wasn't right, even though I know who God is. At that time, I knew who God was. I knew the semi relationship me and him had at that time, because I was still doing my own thing. Even though I was a firm believer and my faith was there, I wasn't being obedient to him. I didn't have a firm relationship with him. Um, and I could barely hear what the Holy Spirit was telling me, but he was telling me something. He was definitely telling me something that night. So I couldn't sleep at all. So the next morning, my ex, he drops me off at the OR and, get prepped, go downstairs. I said, something ain't right. They take it too long. They usually don't take this long to take me, or, give me my sleepy med, my funny medicine, and take me on to the bed. So they come around the corner, they said, Miss Fields, and when I hear Miss Fields, I just know. Something's bad for to come out their mouth. They was like, well, due to the medication that you're on, it was a medication that it's just like a chemo pill. Well, just like chemo, but it's in the form of a pill. I was taking that at that moment. And like I told you, I'm not good with the terminology. That ain't me. I'm sorry. But they said due to that medication that you're on, if we would have operated on you today, you would have had a blood clot and could, potentially die during surgery. And I said, that wasn't nobody but God saving me. That wasn't nobody but God saving me. He knew he put it in my spirit that something was off, and I'm so glad he did. I am so glad he's a on time God, and he stepped right up in that OR room and told him, "Hey, you don't need to operate on my baby. You're not operating on my child." So we rescheduled the surgery, and I went back to doing what I wanted to do, and that was smoke, drink, um, living a chaotic life, just being transparent. And we get ready for the next surgery. So they said, well, since we can't do fat grafting on your stomach, we're going to do it on your thighs. I said, do y'all know who y'all operating on? I'm not no big bone girl like I am now. If they want to, I got a little, I got a little something now. But then I didn't have all that for them to be doing all this chucking and jiving and transferring and this, that, and the third. I didn't have all that. So I said, okay, well, what is it? And how are we going to do this? So the fat is still fat grafting, but they're taking it from my thighs and putting it in my breast, and they're also going to have an implant in there. So I said, well, is it the same way as they was like, nope, this is going to be an outpatient surgery, and you're going to do this for every 3 weeks, three times every 3 weeks. I said, nah, I'm not doing this. I tell you guys, by the second surgery, I told them I was done. I went into a deep depression. I didn't want to do anything. I was at work. Well, I couldn't work at that time because I was going through those surgeries, but I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't want to be a mother. I didn't want to be a provider. I didn't want to do anything. I said, stop it. Take these pills, take these surgeries, and y'all can have it. I'm resting. I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. None whatsoever. I'm not doing it. I'm taking a break, and it's on my terms. So they said, well, no, you need to take the pills. I said, Jesus is my healer. I said, he healed me. He healed me then. He can heal me in going into my future. I'm not taking these pills. I said, I'm going crazy. I'm dealing with these hot flashes, menopause. My body's going through menopause that it don't supposed to at an early stage in my life. I'm not doing this. I'm taking Ambien. I'm going crazy on Ambien, sleepwalking. Don't know what I'm telling my children. Like, no, y'all can have all of this. So at that point, I want to say this was 2016. I was done with every surgery, every pill. I was done. I was done. And I haven't went back to it. I have not let them go back and finish the job. I'm satisfied with this. I am satisfied with my body. It took me a long, long, long time to love this body. A long time to love this body. But you know what this body signifies? Strength, courage, the capability to keep moving forward. So I say, okay, deuces. Bye. Bye. I'm done. I'm finna go live my life. I'm done. So after that, we just kept going back it was every 3 months and every 6 months, and it went to a year. And recently in 20, what is this, 2023, 22, 21, 2021, I went back to the doctor and we had another scare. And if any cancer survivor or patient knows, when you're done and you go back for them checkups, nothing is too hard for your God, and you be like, oh, I hope everything okay. They said they wanted to make sure everything was straight here, so they want to do a biopsy. And if you know a biopsy, you are fully awake, and they are sticking a needle in whatever area of your body where they need to do the biopsy at. And I can't stand it. I cried so hard doing that biopsy. They had to do a biopsy in my right arm, under my armpit where my lymph nodes are, just to make sure everything was okay. And everything, by the grace of God, everything was okay. On the cervix, on that hand, they said my abnormal cells and my cervix kept coming back. So they was like, well, Miss Fields, we're gonna take your cervix, take the rest of it. Take the rest of it. That's all right. Ain't you know ain't, ain't got nothing else. What you gonna take? So 2021, we set up a surgery date and they went in and took the rest of my freaking cervix. Breast gone. Cervix gone. We may not look like what we've been through. Oh, but deep down inside, a piece of us is gone. A piece of our womanhood is gone. But I still stand here today, full woman. Even with a little missing parts here and there. That's all right. But God, He brought me through a lot. With me falling back into my old habits in 2021, not too long after my last surgery, I gave God my yes. I told Him, take the wheel. This is me and you, only me and you. Let's do it. I'm tired of doing this life without you. And He took me through wilderness season, dry season, isolation season, every season imaginable. A Job season where He took everything from me. And I have the courage here today to sit in front of you and tell you my story and encourage you on what God can do in your life. I may not have the best of the best, but I'm here to give my testimony to encourage anyone out there that's on the fence of building a relationship with Christ. I am living proof that He's a healer. I am living proof that He provides favor. He provides grace. And He loves you no, it don't even matter how many times you mess up. He still loves you. And He still cares for you. He's waiting on you. He waited for me, and I thank Him for waiting on me. I thank God every day for waiting on me. I do not sit here perfect. I still fall short. I may get convicted for some things, because God will do it. But I wouldn't trade my relationship with God for anything in this world. So if you're out there dealing with cancer, leukemia, anything, just know Jesus, your friend, our Savior, is right there with you, taking every cut, every needle, every ounce of anxiety. He's your supporter. He's your friend. He is right there with you, going through it all. So trust God and let Him see you through this. I pray that my story uplifts someone, encourage you, and this is not it for me. Because she believe podcast. Because she believe podcast, I'm sorry. Because she believe podcast, we'll have more videos to come. And I just want to thank you for listening to me. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I love you.